Hello, come on in. Hola, bienvenidos. Thank you, Northgate, for putting on these free classes for the community. We are so thankful today. My name's Nicole Presley, and I'm here with my girl Tere, and then we are about to dive into the Capirotada de Picon and Camarones Al Ajillo class. If you have any questions during the class, you can drop them in, I believe there's like a little chat area at the bottom. You just send us a question and that it will answer or ask me. And so we have a lot of ground to cover today. So let's get started right away. So first things first, I hope you're cooking with me. And if you are, let's preheat our oven to 350 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and start that because we have a process to go through. Okay, so before we do anything, let's talk about our Capirotada de Picon. And this capirotada has a cream sauce to it. So we don't put any cheese. We're going to make a tres leches sauce to pour over our picon. And one of the great things is that Northgate is one of the very few places in LA that you are in Southern California, I should say, because they expand all the way down to San Diego, where you can buy pan de picon. I've never seen it anywhere else. I'm sure there's probably some little boutique places somewhere, but Northgate is the best place to buy it. And I've bought several over the last couple of years, and sometimes they vary, but they're always delicious. So we're going to start with our sauce, and we're going to pour in 1 cup. I'm gonna have my recipe right here. So we're gonna pour in 1 cup of water into a pan. I like to start by adding water and a cinnamon stick and some vanilla. And I like to heat up the water first because it keeps the milk from burning. So I'm going to start that up, and I'm also going to start up my middle griddle here because we're going to also toast some bread. So I'm heating up the griddle and I'm starting the water to heat. So I have water, cinnamon stick, and vanilla here. And I'm just going to wait till it starts to boil. Also, you know what? I'm going to add in 1/4 of a cup of sugar. Not too much, but enough to just sweeten it a little. Okay. This is cute. Just going to swish around the sugar so that it can dissolve easily and quickly in the water base. So I'm super excited, I have to say, because tonight's opening night for the Dodgers, and we're going to have Capirotada and Camarones while I watch the game. Game starts in an hour. Are you going to be tuning in, Tere?
Yes, I'm a Dodger fan.
Oh, I know you are. I love that Urias is pitching tonight. Opening up.
Yeah, he reminds me of Mini Fernando.
Right. I think he's going to win the Young Cy award this year.
Yes, we're going to need some love because I don't like that MLB predicted the Padres to win.
Oh, no. Well, according to my son, the Dodgers are going to win. The Dodgers are going to take it this year. And
if it were up to all of us, we'd take it this year.
Right. We're due. Okay. All right, so this is starting to come. It's starting to get hot. I can see little tiny bubbles forming around the end, but I'm gonna actually let it come to a boil. And now in a separate cup, I have a measuring cup here and I have 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. So I'm gonna add to that cornstarch 1 cup of milk. And I want to add it to the milk while the milk is cold because that will help the cornstarch dissolve easily. If we did it when it was hot, it would immediately thicken, but the cold helps it just dissolve and do nothing. And I have a whisk here, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix until I can feel that everything is dissolved, and just really scrape in there. All right. And also to this cup, I'm going to add in 1 can of evaporated milk. I feel like I've been using evaporated milk a lot lately. With the arroz con leche and blan and you name it. We're in love with our evaporated milk, but we're going to just add this to the cup of whole milk and the cornstarch. And whisk that in. Okay, let me check on my water. If I stop swishing it, let's see if it boils. So you could see that it's starting to form small little bubbles. Just gonna let it get a little hotter. And then I'm gonna mix this right in. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna open my sweetened condensed milk just to have it ready. Okay. So I've got this milk mixture with the cornstarch here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it right into that water. And this will also, when you mix the cornstarch in, to a cold liquid, it also keeps your slurry from gathering like little bolitas. So when you're making like even an atole and you mix it into something cold first, that way you don't get those clumps in your atole. So I'm just gonna mix this until I feel that it is thickening. And then we're gonna add in the sweetened condensed milk. Oh my God, it smells so good in here. And that's my oven letting me know that it's ready when I am. Okay. So while this is heating up, I am going to start cutting the pan de picon. And I have here a whole one, but I also have a smaller one that is half from what I had cut earlier. And I'm just gonna use this one. So this was whole, and now I've cut it in half, and I'm just gonna go ahead and slice into like the width of my finger, which is a 1/2 inch slices. Do we have any questions?
Not yet, Nicole. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Now this, I went ahead and toasted most of this bread earlier because if not, it would take a really long time to do so. And even just having it like this with a little bit of butter was so delicious. Just give this a stir. I just want to make sure that I keep giving my milk mixture a stir every so often. Okay. And I can see already that it's starting to thicken. So you could toast your pan de picon 2 ways. You could either butter it as I'm about to do and put it on a griddle to give it a harder exterior, or you could put it in the oven for a few minutes, or like I'd say like 10 to 15 minutes to dry it out a little bit more. Just depends. This one is nice, and it's not quite day old because I bought it this morning. But if it was day old or even a few days old, I might do the oven technique versus putting it on the grill. Because it's fresh, I like to keep a lot of that freshness and just give it a slight harder exterior on the outside so that it doesn't soak up as much milk. Okay, so let me just show you. I have my griddle going. I'm gonna go ahead and I buttered it on both sides, and I'm just gonna put it on the griddle. And you could see, it's as easy as that. I'm gonna flip it over, but I've already made many, as you can see. And you could also do this earlier in the day, because making capirotada a lot of times is a process. So if you wanna do this portion of the bread earlier in the day, or even the day before, you could do it, leave the bread out, let it get harder, whatever your choice is. But I like to do it with a little bit of butter. I feel like it adds to the layers, and I'm all about it. I'm all about getting butter on that bread. Okay. All right. So it looks like my slurry is just about done here. My milk slurry, and I'm gonna add in, turn this on. I'm gonna add in my sweetened condensed milk. I'm just gonna pour it in, and then I'll get my whisk after and whisk it in. Just want to get everything in there. That's why I didn't add too much sugar, because I knew I was going to put this in at the end. So this helps sweeten. And I'm just gonna go ahead and whisk in the sweetened condensed milk. I turned off the flame. Let that soak there for a few minutes while we assemble our capirotada. Take these off of the grill here. They look like they are perfectly browned. And you can see them here. And again, I did these earlier today. It's nice, crispy. So you can do it earlier or save it for right when you're about to do it. Okay. Everything turned off. I'm gonna build. And I have some room temperature butter. I'm gonna butter my dish. And I'd say 1.5 pan de picones. I have it on the recipe as 2 because you need to buy 2 in order to get that 1.5. And with the additional, I wouldn't let it go to waste. I'd use it as toast. Could even make yourself a nice sandwich in it. So here we go. I'm buttering my dish. Just gonna use my hands. I like this extra buttery taste. You could also grease it if you wanted to with like just a cooking spray, or I use butter because, like I said, I feel like it adds to the dish. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna start by adding our first layer of bread. And this is sort of like a mosaic. You just want to fit the bread in any way that you can. So treat it as a puzzle, use your smaller pieces where you need to. And you can smash them in because no one's gonna see them. That looks like it's cut little pieces and shove them in there. Okay. I have half a cup of pecans and a half a cup of sliced almonds here that we're also going to use. And I toasted some coconut, and the way I toasted it was I just got sweetened coconut and put it in the oven for, I'd say, about 6 minutes, and rotated it at the 3-minute mark so that it doesn't burn, because coconut burns very easily. And we're also going to use some banana. And you could, if you don't like banana, I'm using banana because I feel like it goes really nicely with the milk mixture and the bread. But you could use raisins. You could use strawberries. Like, think of things that go nicely with like vanilla flavor or a creamy flavor. So I'm gonna put these in. Just a few slices of banana. Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take out the cinnamon stick, just so it doesn't get in my way. And you can see that the mixture is a little thicker already. It's starting to, it thickens, not too much, but enough. And add in our first layer of the cream mixture. And I'd say about a ladle full, which is about a cup, maybe a little bit more than a cup. Maybe 2 ladlefuls, just to keep it. Okay. And then I'm going to add in my nuts. This is sliced almonds and pecans that are chopped. Put those in. And I'm also going to add in my toasted coconut. Okay. Now for the next layer. So we're going to continue to build like we're building a puzzle or lasagna. This is layering, making sure we get as much pan picon in there as we can. Because it's too good to let it go to waste. This one fit better here. Okay. And the same process, we're going to add in some more banana. Oh boy. I can't wait to eat this. This is my favorite.
Yeah, it's nice and chilly con una tacita de café o un chocolatito in your capirotada, watching the Dodger game.
Right? Screaming, hoping they win today. Did you make capirotada this Cuaresma?
Yes, I made some the other day, but I made the agua one. I'm looking at yours and I'm saying I have to make the leche one.
Oh my God.
That looks delicious.
Thank you, Tere. Yeah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. I didn't grow up with this one. I grew up with the agua one. But this has quickly become my favorite. Okay, I'm going to add some more nuts and some more coconut, and we have one more layer, and then we're going to put it in the oven. So one more layer of bread. Let's get it in there. And I try to cover any open spaces that I see below. So I could cover, that way we could just have it. Let's see. Okay. And if you want to make it so that it's pretty or give it some texture, you can put the pieces of bread so that they're sort of popping up and they're not all laying flat for the top layer. And that'll help. That'll give it some more appeal, not like it needs much, but still. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add in more leche to the top. And I just want to soak all the bread. I want to make sure that it all has some sort of liquid on it. And we are in for a big treat tonight because once I pop this into the oven, we're gonna make the Camarones Al Ajillo, and I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with, like, cannot stop eating it once it's made. So I hope you'll make it because you will not regret it. Okay, so I'm gonna finish with the last pieces of banana that I have here. And I just used one banana for this whole tray. And I'm not gonna put any coconut on the very top because I don't want it to burn. I don't want it to toast more than it's already. So I'm just gonna keep it bare, and when this comes out of the oven, we'll top it with some more coconut and sprinkles. But for these top layers, we're just gonna add some bananas and nuts. Okay. Yum. A little bit more sauce because I could see it's all disappearing fast. A little more for the road. So now this is going to go into the oven for 20 minutes. And while this is cooking, we will make our camarones. So here it is. It's going in the oven. In here. Gonna set my timer for 20 minutes. Are we ready to make shrimp? All right, let me just get rid of this. This is hot. Get it out of my way. Get this out of the way so that we can make room for our shrimp. And this too. All right. Yay. Okay. So now on to the shrimp. Let me show you everything that I have prepped here. It is minimal ingredients for something that tastes so spectacular. I have 1.5 pounds of shrimp. I have a lemon. I have 10 cloves of garlic, which I've already chopped, or else we'd be here forever. A lemon and a guajillo chile, just a dried guajillo chile, and butter and olive oil. So before I start, I am going to, let me get some scissors. I'm just going to go ahead and take this guajillo chili and cut off the stem. I already cleaned it, so you could just clean it by taking a damp rag and just cleaning off the outside or rinsing it if you'd like, but it's a dry chili, so I usually try to just use a little damp rag. And I cut it on both sides so that I just get 2 skins out of this chili. You could keep it in circles if you'd like, or you can just chop it like this. Chop it as thin as possible so you have these tiny little slivers of guajillo chili. And as you chop, the seeds will come out, or you could clean them out if they disturb you while you're cutting. So And this guajillo chili, it's small and it doesn't seem like it will do much, but it really flavors the sauce nicely. And it adds a little pop of red, which is always appealing to the eye. Okay. So we've got those. And then I'm also gonna cut a lemon so that that's ready to go. And before you know it, we're gonna have the most amazing shrimp on our hands. Yeah, with a stack of bolillos, I'm in heaven. This is all I need. Okay, so start by adding oil to a pan. Let me turn on the pan. And I'm gonna put it on a medium heat. And I'm gonna add in, this is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It has a little chili seed that flew in there, but that's okay. And once that heats up, then I'm gonna add in 4 tablespoons of butter. And I have it already cut so that it's measured, and 4 tablespoons is 1/4 of a cup, and that's a half a stick of butter. It's easy to remember too. Just cut the butter in half. Okay. So we got our capirotada in the oven, and we are about to have some amazing shrimp. So now I want to just take my butter and add it straight into the oil, and we'll let that melt. So many dishes are made up that you would think are just butter, are made up of olive oil and butter. Then you don't have to use as much, and it stretches for delicious sauce. So next I'm gonna add in the guajillo chilies once this butter melts, and we're just gonna let those little guajillo skins saute it, say for like 30 seconds, and then we're gonna add in the garlic. And it's really important to keep this flame on a medium, just because we don't want the garlic to burn, and you just want it to brown nicely. Then once it starts to turn brown, we're gonna add in our shrimp. So if you're having guests come over and you need something quickly, this is a great thing to make as like a little snack or an appetizer, something that comes together really fast. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in the guajillo chilies, just the skins. I mean, there will be a few seeds that fall in, and that's okay, but we just want to get the skin. I add them in first so that it could start flavoring the oil and the butter right away. We're just gonna cook these for about 30 seconds to a minute. So now I'm gonna take my minced garlic, and like I said, this is 10 cloves of garlic. It's a lot, but it's perfect. And I didn't chop them super small. I gave them a little bit of girth. Let me lower the flame a bit. These could saute. And the smell of this garlic is so delicious. I've seen people do this without the chile. I've seen people add cream to this, and I bet you it'd be really dreamy with cream as well. But I feel like this version is my favorite, and it's the version that I wanted to teach for this class. A little bit of spice, tanginess from the lemon that we're gonna add, very garlicky, butter and shrimp. You won't be able to stop dipping your bolillo in this sauce. Okay. So now I'm gonna take my shrimp, and I already peeled and deveined and dried them off because I don't want any water or additional residue in my sauce. So I'm gonna just add them right into the pan. And you only have to cook shrimp for a total of 4 minutes or until they turn pink. They cook really quickly, so as soon as they turn pink, we're gonna add our lemon, which we've already cut so that we have easy access to that. And I'm gonna bring up the flame a little bit so that these can cook nicely. I'm so happy that Northgate has shrimp that is already cleaned and deveined, peeled, butterfly, you name it, they have it. And at all sorts of different price points. So you could get like the medium ones, the large ones, the small ones, cooked shrimp. It just depends on what you're using it for. But the marisco section at Northgate just makes me go crazy because there's such an amazing variety, and it's all presented nicely, and it's a beautiful view that it really sparks my imagination. Like, what am I gonna make? I have to make something here. There's so much to choose from, and it's so clean and it smells good. So cheers to Northgate for that. Thank you.
Yeah, those are my favorite chiles. Chiles, camarones, ready to go. All you have to do is give them a little wash and
That's it. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Mine too.
and
Because
un arrocito y un bolillo. You're like,
you're in
Cheers.
good standing.
yes. I'm telling you, I want to be your neighbor.
I want you to be. I want you to be. My neighbors love me, by the way. If they're tuning in, they're like, oh, great. She's going to have that for us in a little while. All right. So you can see I flipped them over a little bit early, but I just wanted to make sure that they were cooking, and I'll flip this side back one more time, but we're going to just let them continue to cook like this for a bit. And I have my parsley here. I have parsley all cut up as well already. That's about 2 tablespoons, and a lemon. I'm using 1 entire lemon, but you can use 2 if you want your sauce a little more tangy. And right now, while the shrimp's cooking, I'm just gonna add some fresh pepper to the top. You could add, if you wanted to, chile, with crushed chili quebrado. All right, and I'm adding some salt. It smells so good in here. All right. So that side cooked nicely. Is it possible to bring in the bolillos? All right. We're probably about a minute and a half from this being done. I just want to make sure that I don't see any raw part. I can still see that it's raw in the middle because I'm using jumbo shrimp. You could use a medium shrimp, and obviously the cooking time is faster. Okay, looks like these are done. So I'm going to turn off the heat, and I am going to get my lemon and squeeze in the lemon juice if I can. There's one half. And that is talking about having it with rice. I have rice, but one of my favorite things from Northgate, honestly, are the bolillos. And it's really crazy because the second I walk in the store, it's the first thing I grab, and it's the thing I probably eat most. Like, bolillos keep me alive in this house all day long. Piece of bolillo with butter, piece of bolillo with butter. So this has to be eaten with a bolillo for me. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in the parsley. Look how pretty that is. So gorgeous. How fast did that come together? Do we have any questions?
No, but that's a dish to impress la suegra.
Right? Ya puedes casar after this.
Look at that.
Right?
Beautiful, Nicole. Probably smells delicious too.
It does. And I have to show you like what usually happens. So little piece of bolillo before it even gets on anyone's plate, just to make sure everybody's okay. There's nobody's getting poisoned here. And oh, it's so good. Let me see. Get a shrimp because the shrimp has to make it into the bolillo as well. Let's see. Gotta try it. So good. I highly recommend you make this for dinner, for guests, as an appetizer. Okay. Let me wash my hands and we'll take the capirotada out of the oven. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my capirotada. Smells so good. And now we're going to decorate the top. We are going to add a little bit more coconut. And you can add raisins, like I said before. You could add strawberries. You could add any other fruit that you'd like, fresh fruit. You could add berries. But those are all negotiable. But what's not negotiable is you have to add sprinkles, because this makes it so beautiful, so festive, so traditional that it's not something you want to skip. When I absolutely love it. And I love that Northgate sells these sprinkles that are larger than the other ones that you could typically buy in the baking section, like the little plastic bottles or in the little plastic bags. These ones, these sprinkles are larger in size and so effective, so cute. Okay, so there you have it. There's our capirotada. I'm gonna just take a spoon and show you what goes on down below. Oh boy, did you see that? Did you see that milk? Yeah, that's juicy. And it goes deep too. But this is heaven. Thank you so much.
That looks so good.
Thank you.
you. Thank you for sharing your recipes. Thank you for, it looks delicious. So thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for joining us. We will have the videos uploaded on our website, but thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everybody, and see you guys soon.
Thank you, Northgate. Thank you, Teres. See you soon. Bye.
And go Dodgers.
Yes, go Dodgers.
Bye.